Hello class, my name is Felipe Prado Garcia and this is my PowerPoint presentation on government as a private sector or running a government agency like the private sector. And the main focus for the privatizations of government is the application of Theory Y of Douglas McGregor. Something important to point out of Theory Y is that it promotes innovation. Theory Y is the assumption that it can provide new managerial policies and practices where it provides a positive environment, a positive working environment where management creates some type of innovation or it creates a path for innovation and also, and this is very important, it provides the acknowledgement that the perfect organization does not exist, but you can still aim for that along the way and maximize innovation. Also, the definition of Theory Y does not mean that employees get to do as they please or that employees are not being managed as they should. No, it's the complete opposite, is where employees are allowed to work how they want to work so that they can maximize productivity because they're going to be working in an environment that is better set up for them. And they can take advantage of that by maximizing their efficiency when they're working. Now, in politics and administration, the word administration is commonly misleading, whereas people associate that word with the government as the authority of the government. And in courts, judges have also used the word administrative or administration as something that has to do with the government, which in reality, it's more about the authority within an agency or within a sector or within an entity. And in the private sector, having a really good administration means that you're going to have really good authority. So therefore, you're going to have good results, or it's expected to have really good results. And then one of the principles of scientific management states that you have to bring other men together. So basically, what it says is that you have to bring other trained workmen, other people with expertise, other people with the knowledge through labor. Bring that in and then combine it with scientific expertise or scientific data. Bring those two together, and then it goes back to the initial theory where you combine the labor or the knowledge through labor with the knowledge of science, and you bring those two together and you create something that's gonna provide a better result within the sector or within the agency that you're trying to build up. And as with any agency or any sector, it is important to have some type of bureaucracy where you have a set authority and a chain of command that follows that authority. And this is called bureaucratic management. And this type of management of office normally encompass people who have expert training or high level training in this type of scenarios. And note that the theory of organization is about the division of work. The division of work is very important within a sector because you have to know where and how to divide work. You have to know your limitations in that division so that you can maximize the strengths of your employee and then minimize the weaknesses of those employees as well. So it's very important in in the private sector to know how to divide the work equally among the employees, not just the employees but also upper management, also in the chain of command. Knowing how to make those divisions up there too is very important so that it flows through all the way to the bottom. And then the science of muddling through. Uh, this theory is more commonly used in the private sector because the whole idea behind muddling through is getting work done, analyzing that work, figuring out what went right, what went wrong, and getting what went wrong and trying to fix the errors that were made and then doing it all over again. So so that's the main idea of muddling through. Working, doing what needs to be done, fixing the errors, and then doing it all over again. So in the private sector, this application is more ideal because there's more room to make errors. There's more room to make upgrades or make or fix things. Whereas in the public sector, it is expected that those errors were already thought about or they were already worked on and they should not be happening. In conclusion, there are different paths that could be taken to run a government agency as a private sector. It's just a matter of fact of seeing which one works best. There's many ways. There's many theories that could be applicable to this type of transition. But theory Y is perhaps one of the more feasible type of theories that could apply to this type of transition. And you have other theorists with their theories that could back up that type of transition from a government agency to the private sector.